This shit is wild, dude. The U.S. government is actually suing Adobe for their new like, you know how like they were trying to like do their shit or so, what they were doing or so with Adobe. Apparently now the government is be like, oh yeah, you know what? I'm gonna sue your ass for it. This is gonna be very interesting to be honest. Hold on, I gotta see this.
Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we are going to be talking about Adobe and the US government, which is
Dude,
two
that's
things I never
crazy
really
though.
expected to be throwing into a video together. I've always kind of hoped that this situation would be the case, but for years now, I've had a personal beef with Adobe, and I'm sure a lot of other people who use Adobe software to create things for work or hobbies, whatever it may be, you probably have felt the same way. Now, Adobe is by far the worst company I've ever had to deal with when it comes to my job creating content here on YouTube. So, for those of you who don't necessarily know what Adobe is, basically it's this massive software company. They're actually the people who make things like Adobe Premiere Pro, which is the editing software a lot of people use to make videos, myself included. Photoshop, which, I mean, that's kind of self-explanatory. Adobe Acrobat, you know, there's just so many different ones. I mean, you can find a whole list of them online. They have a software probably for damn near everything you can do creatively, and they are by far one of the worst companies I can think of. I mean, not only do they obviously take advantage of the consumer, not only do they obviously, well, as we're about to read, hide shit that is, I would say, pretty important to know when you're signing up, but they try to pretend like they're helping you, and they try to pretend like they're doing you a favor by making all of their products harder to use, harder to pay for, yada yada yada, right? Just a garbage company that very clearly takes advantage of not only its
Oh yeah, no, 100%. That's why if you know how like I told you guys like about Affinity or so, if Affinity manages to make a video editing software that is basically the same like you almost like the same UI and layout as Adobe Premiere, but it's like better, it's more optimized, and it doesn't crash a lot, and it's just a lot more friendly to use or so, or in some sort of capacity, right? And it's easy to like drag in like a lot of like software stuff, you know, add-ons and like plugins and stuff like that. Bro, like I'm not gonna lie, Adobe's gonna be in trouble like 100%, because especially because like you just buy it once and it's completely yours, you know. So
like big stake in the industry, but also the millions of people who are reliant on that software to do whatever it is that they need to do. So the US government is suing Adobe for allegedly hiding expensive fees and making it difficult to cancel a subscription. In the complaint filed on Monday, the Department of Justice claims Adobe, quote, has harmed consumers by enrolling them in its default most lucrative subscription plan without clearly disclosing important plan terms. The lawsuit alleges Adobe, quote, hides the terms of its annual paid monthly plan in the, quote, fine print and behind optional text boxes and hyperlinks.
oh my goodness gracious me, no way. Wow, they definitely want you to like, damn, dude, since because they know like people don't look at like, you know, the fine print and everything like that, and people just accept things, right? We all know like the average person don't really like read those specific things, right? So this is, oh, damn, dude.
In doing so, the company fails to properly disclose the early termination fee incurred upon cancellation, quote, that can amount to hundreds of dollars, the complaint says. When customers do attempt to cancel, the DOJ alleges that Adobe requires them to go through a, quote, onerous and complicated cancellation process that includes navigating through multiple web pages and pop-ups. It then allegedly, quote, ambushes customers with an early termination fee which may discourage them from canceling.
What the fuck? Are you serious? Oh my goodness gracious me. Wow. So you get a termination fee for canceling your Adobe subscription? That's just fucking crazy. What the fuck, dude? That is so fucking dumb.
Customers encounter similar obstacles when attempting to cancel their subscriptions over the phone or via live chats, the DOJ alleges. The complaint claims, quote, subscribers have had their calls or chats either dropped or disconnected and have had to re-explain their reason for calling when they reconnect. The lawsuit alleges that these practices break federal laws designed to protect consumers. The lawsuit also targets Adobe executives Maninder Sawhney, I believe. I don't know how to say that, I won't lie. The senior vice president of digital go-to-market and sales, as well as David Wadhwani, the president of the company's digital media business. The complaint says both executives, quote, directed, controlled, had the authority to control, or participated in the acts and practices of Adobe. Adobe didn't immediately reply to a request for comment. Shocker there. All right, so I'm sure that that's probably a lot to...
Damn, dude, I hope the government wins the case and makes them pay a heavy fine. I hope so too, dude. That's crazy. When you actually get sued by the government itself, man, you know you fucked up so hard. You know you royally fucked up. If the US government is suing your ass, damn, dude, that is, oh man.
To take in if you're somebody who doesn't really know what's going on, you don't really know what Adobe is up to. Like I said, Adobe is a company, they make all these different softwares, right? Now, me as a YouTuber, for instance, I use Adobe Premiere Pro, Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Media Encoder. Some people use like Adobe After Effects and whatnot as well. So like there's a couple different software they make that's pretty important to, you know, me making videos, me making content, whatever it may be. Now, people who are signing up, right, to Adobe's products, you got to remember, Adobe, for whatever reason, they sell things individually, right? Like they have Premiere Pro, Photoshop, things like that. But instead of just selling you the product, like, oh, I go to Adobe's website, I pay 50 bucks, I now have Photoshop, you have to buy a monthly subscription to all of their software, right? So even if you only need one or whatever, right, they get you on there and they try to get you to get Adobe Creative Cloud and all this shit, which has all these different programs and whatnot, mostly that you don't need on there, right? And you have to pay a monthly fee instead of just buying the shit outright that you want to buy. So instead of just paying once for Photoshop, you're paying 12 times a year, monthly basically, for however long you need it, which in and of itself is fucking stupid. I mean, if you're buying a, first off, digital product and it's a software like this, it shouldn't be a monthly subscription. That's fucking stupid. Why am I paying you monthly for something I can just buy outright, dude? Like, I don't want to do this fixed shit where I'm giving you money all year. That's dumb. Who wants to do that, right? Let me just buy the product. But no, you don't get to just buy the product, consumer. You will gleefully pay for this subscription service. And then, of course, you know, you go to get the membership, right? Okay, I want to get Adobe Creative Cloud so I can use Photoshop, whatever it may be, right? Well, Adobe then will basically default you to, hey, pay for the most expensive tier, because that makes them the most money, obviously. And then, of course, as this whole lawsuit alleges in the first place, right, of course there's always going to be terms and conditions and things that aren't favorable when you're signing these kinds of things, right? These fucking terms of services and the guidelines and whatever, right? But as the lawsuit says, they hide some of the terms and some of the things that are, like, I guess, bad. Some of the things that might be, oh, you know, a little bit more of a reconsider moment for this whole thing. Yeah, well, those are hidden behind optional text boxes and hyperlinks, right? So to fully know how much of a fucking you're really gonna get from Adobe, right, you have to just, like, inherently know to click the optional text boxes, and you have to inherently know, oh, I need to go through all these different fucking web pages, jump through all these different hoops, so I can figure out what I'm really signing up for. Now, let's...
Oh my god. Oh my god. No way, dude. That's crazy. That's actually just generally crazy. Damn, I remember Adobe a long time ago or so. You just buy it, and then that's it. That's yours, you know? Man, dude, that's just crazy. How the times have changed or so from way back or so with just Adobe products, and then now it's just kind of like, wow.
Let's go ahead and use our thinking caps here. How many people signing up for Adobe products do you think, number one, know that they need to click these optional text boxes and hyperlinks to know what they're really signing up for? And then number two, when being stared down by thousands and thousands of words of legal jargon in order to use the product they're trying to pay for work or whatever, right? How many people do you think are going to click and read through all that
Nobody.
shit? Exactly.
The
and
average
that's
Joe
why
isn't
they
gonna
do
that,
this, because
so.
they know that people using these softwares do not have the time to sit there and fucking read 40 pages of garbage, right? They are not going to sit there and click every little hyperlink and every little box to make sure that you're not ducking very important information behind these pieces of, like, basically walled access, right? Now, of course, let's say you use the product or whatever, you're not satisfied, okay? You don't fuck with Adobe. You don't rock with Photoshop, whatever it is, right? You want to cancel, okay? You want to take your money to a competitor or just simply say, fuck Adobe, I don't want to give them any money. You go to try to cancel, okay? You go to cancel your membership. Oh, well, apparently it's even more complications there, because instead of just giving you a button where you're like, hey, I want to unsubscribe, stop charging my debit card, you know, my fucking PayPal, whatever it is, right? They have now made it even more complex and just more tedious to try and cancel. And then even if you do somehow navigate the entire fucking corn maze of, you know, links and web pages and fucking pop-ups and whatever else Adobe decides to throw in your way to try and stop you from canceling your subscription, they then will drop a early termination fee on your head, which, by the way, can apparently total hundreds of dollars. So to clarify this,
Are you serious? Holy shit! Holy shit! God damn! I never gone back to Adobe or so. I used Adobe way back, and then I switched over to Sony Vegas for a while or so. And then that's pretty much it. So.
this even more, right? So you pay monthly to get a one download fucking software onto your computer, right? That in and of itself is already crazy to me, is already stupid to me, right? But then when you go to try to cancel, okay, the terms that you unknowingly agreed to that are hidden in their fucking service, that they intentionally are hiding from customers, right? Just because you apparently violated those, they find it reasonable to try and charge you a cancellation fee. Keep in mind, a cancellation fee for one-time software, right? Like a one download software that, by the way, doesn't really work anymore if you cancel the subscription, because every time you try to load up a legit download of the fucking Photoshop or whatever, the first thing it's gonna do is try to connect to Adobe Creative Cloud and whatnot and verify your purchase. So if you stop paying for it, it just stops working for 99.9% of users who don't know ways to find a workaround and whatnot, or find a cracked version or a pirated version, whatever, right? So now with the
Yeah, might as well start pirating them at this point, you know, because Adobe is just fucking terrible at this point. Might as well just start pirating them, you know, shit. I even said it in the last video too.
Cancellation fees, either A, you don't cancel and you just keep giving Adobe money and you're basically held hostage, because paying them however much a month compared to hundreds of dollars in cancellation fees is probably a better deal for most people, and especially this economy right now. And then B, if you do decide, hey, fuck Adobe, I don't want this anymore, I'm done, I'm stepping out, then you're hit with a fucking preposterous cancellation fee that shouldn't exist in the first place. I'm sorry, if I'm using a digital software that I am paying monthly for, the concept of me getting a cancellation fee is fucking stupid. So I'm paying you monthly instead of paying you all at once for the perceived idea that whenever I want to cancel, whenever I'm done with it, I don't have to pay money for it anymore. But then when I try to exercise that right as a consumer, you want to fucking try and charge me all this money? And then, you know, of course, there's always people who dick suck, right? There's always people I like to call dick suckers, okay? Dick eaters, if you will. These people will defend companies like Adobe for literally no reason other than, well, yeah, that's about it. Just nothing. There's nothing to come up with. I have had people tell me that, like, oh, well, if you don't want to deal with it, then read through the whole terms of service. It's like, yeah, man, we haven't had this conversation for 20 fucking years already about how terms of services are impossible to read for the majority of consumers. The time restraint that they actually create to read them is fucking unbearable and unreasonable for most people in modern society. Yeah, but it's okay though. The corporation said it's okay to do this, so I have to listen now. So I already know what the dick eaters are gonna say. Oh, but Optimus, man, if you just call them up on the phone, you know, you just ring them up on their customer service line, you send them a nice email or something, I'm sure they'll find a workaround, man. They'll cancel your shit, no termination fee. They'll be nice about it, right? Well, apparently not, because if you fucking call these idiots and you try, hey, man, cancel my subscription, no bullshit, none of that, right? Just fucking cancel for me, right? Well, apparently now the representatives who answer the phone will just hang the fucking phone up, right? So if I call you like, hey, I don't want Photoshop no more, quit charging my card, fucking stop my account. Dude on the other end is just gonna click that fucking hang up button, bro. Or suddenly, you know, you might get left in a infinite loop of being held on hold, right? You never know. It's just bullshit. and it's obviously put there as a barrier to prevent you from canceling. That way when you call, you sit there for 45 minutes on the phone with some guy halfway across the fucking planet who has no idea what your personal issue is, and that way when you explain it to him in full and you're like, I want to cancel, he can remember, oh shit, I'm not supposed to let them cancel. And then he can just hang the phone up, and guess what? You get to call and redo the whole process. And yet there are people.
Yeah, that gets kind of, I'm not gonna lie, that gets kind of annoying, because I've had that happen to me before or so, but like with something else or so. I was trying to call or so, and they just kept hanging me up over and over and over again, and it just fucking irritated me after a while. After like, I think after like the fifth time, yeah, I think the fifth time or so, I got so angry or so, I started saying, hey yo, like what's going on here? Why? Like I literally yelled at them. It's just like, bro, like you guys are you're fucking hanging me up on me. Of course I'm gonna get angry at you guys, because you guys keep fucking hanging up on me. So
people out there who will actively defend shit like this and will think, oh, you know, well,
who actually
if
defends? Who the fuck actually defends this? Like, you must be out of your damn mind if you actually defend this shit. Like, honestly, you're so dumb.
read the terms of service, and you wouldn't have to deal with this.
These people are so dumb.
I wish people like that could just be like fucking lined up and just have like a comically large piano dropped on their head from like a 70-story building. It would genuinely do so much for, like, you know, your rights online, for tech rights, things like that. Because people who defend corporations just actually fucking their customers like this it's pathetic, to say the least. And this is a billion-dollar company, right? Like, they're not hurting for money. They already have the market share. I mean, once again, like, their products are so well known and like highly used by professionals in the industry that to edit a photo online, the word Photoshop has just become like the word for it. It's like how Google, back when Google search became a huge thing, right? When you wanted to look something up online, the word for that became, oh, just Google it, right? That's literally how some of Adobe's products operate in their market. But I'm supposed to believe that these customer practices are, you know, beneficial to me or anybody else that doesn't work for Adobe. I'm not buying it. So not only am I glad that the US government is stepping in and suing Adobe, I hope they fucking run the ringer on their ass. I hope they take as much money as they can. I hope they fucking clean house. I hope everybody who uses Adobe products starts pirating their software, starts finding cracked versions online. It would be a real shame if you learned how to torrent and crack software like this and use it for your own purposes. That would be a terrible, just horrific thing, guys. Do not pirate Adobe software.
I know what he's trying to do here. Very smart. Yeah. Don't pirate Adobe software, guys. Okay, all right. Don't do it. Okay, all right. It's very bad. Okay, all right. Don't go pirating their stuff. You know.
If you respect me, Optimus, listen to my words here. Do not pirate Adobe software. That would be a horrible thing to do. Do not take money from these good people. That would be a bad,
don't pirate them.
guys.
Yeah, you
Come
too,
on,
Zhao.
man.
Don't pirate Adobe stuff, okay?
Not only like as me as a YouTuber, does this affect me because, you know, I deal with Adobe and their products on a, well, I guess, I wouldn't say daily basis anymore because I don't really upload daily anymore, but often enough basis that it fucking matters to me and other people, right? It just, I hate Adobe as a company. I really do. And to see the US government finally going after a company like Adobe,
dude,
it really does make me happy.
That's actually
it really makes me happy inside. The unfortunate part is there's like
Dubstep is like, yeah, I get you. I understand you. No more. Don't bother.
85% chance that they don't do enough here. Like, to me, I want to see Adobe go out of business. Like, that's the best fucking outcome for me. But
damn,
I'm sure,
crazy,
you know, they probably get a
honest.
slap on the hand. I figure that's the outcome. I hope it's better than that, but that's just baseline.
Man, I'm hoping they slap them with a fish or something, you know.
For me at this point. But anyway, with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel. Follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shoptimus down below. Thank you to my Watch Optimus subscribers. Your support helps the channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, well, talking about Adobe being the shittiest company you can imagine, and signing out. And that's a wrap up.
Damn, dude, that's crazy. Oh, my camera's freaking out again. I mean, not my camera, my software is freaking out again. Okay, but anyways, yeah, no, I think that's pretty crazy in my personal opinion. I think it's actually quite like the wildest thing or so to witness that the government itself is going after Adobe. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I can't wait. I'll be interested to see what happens or so. I'm hoping they slap him across the face with a fish or something, you know, and be like, you know, stop being stupid and everything, you know. Damn, dude, that is actually kind of a bit wild. Let's see, what's the comment section have to say? I've expected him to have cracked version of Adobe software in the description. Extra hidden fees are so scummy. Sucks that Adobe is so popularly used. Glad that the U.S. government actually is taking action for once. The government is finally doing something good for once. Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. The government's actually doing something and actually protecting the consumers. Wow, I cannot believe it, to be honest. Adobe is such a great software, but it's a monopoly. Outrageous prices. If this means using Adobe program will be one-time cost, www. That's true. Oh, that would be interesting actually. I'm wondering if the government. I'll be very interested to see what happens or so. Hopefully we get some updates or so specifically for this. You know, I'll be very interested or so. Like I said, you know, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's gonna be pretty cool. I can't wait to see it. Personally, I am intrigued. I'm hoping that they slap him across the face, you know, give him a good old slappy slap, you know. But anyways, yeah, you know, well, that was pretty interesting. But anyways, you guys can leave in the comment section down below and tell me what you guys think about Adobe getting sued or so. Also, my goddamn freaking program is giving me issues. I swear, what a pain in my ass. Anyways, yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video.